Check this out. Andrew Cuomo says we simply cannot stay closed until the vaccine hits critical mass. The cost is too high. We will have nothing left to open. We must reopen the economy, but we must do it smartly and safely. So, okay. What's that show? Was it Always Sunny in Philadelphia? When homie was like, I play both sides. That way I always come out on top. Wasn't that it? And I wonder what just happened recently to make these guys start turning their changing their tune when it came to the destruction of their geographical area that they control. Like, what recently happened, y'all? Like, why all of a sudden why are they emphasizing that, okay, maybe this is a problem now? Maybe this is a problem that we've shut people down. Like, what happened over the last couple of months that kind of made people change their tune? I wonder what it was. I wonder exactly what it was. It's almost as if that a lot of folks are using the lockdowns to try to get at a certain individual and using that as an example, right? However, it also could mean that maybe they're starting to see the bottom line. And you look at places like California and New York City and people moving the hell up out of there with their money. Now, look, Andrew Cuomo is a criminal, okay? I just want to be very clear about that. He's a criminal, okay? And what he's done to New York, him and his pissing match that he's tried to get with de Blasio or de Bozo, whatever his name is, I get it. He's a criminal, okay? But I'm especially frustrated, and we'll have someone on the show that's out of New York City as well, Billy of the Beast, that these guys have been playing these politics for as long as they've been playing when it comes to this virus and the reopening, going through numerous lockdowns. It's kind of crazy to me that now all of a sudden they'd ever fix their mouth or their fingers to type and act as if this was like this is the way to go. Because look, guys like myself have been way ahead of the curve. I was talking about this in March when doing lockdowns or trying to shut folks down for the sake of this virus that has a 99% survivability rate was always a criminal thing. It didn't matter what you claimed that you was doing. Like, yeah, all of these guys, of course, pretended as if they were doing it for the benefit of the people. But that doesn't mean anything, right? Some of the most evil sons of guns in the world had good intentions, right? From Hitler to Mussolini to Pol Pot to Mao to all of these guys, Stalin's, Lenin, they all claimed to do it for the people. It just happened to result in the deaths of millions of people, right? So we say this, we've been saying this, and it's got to be frustrating as a New York citizen to have to deal with that. It has to. It has to. Because this is what we had been saying for the longest. Waiting around was, it just, at what point, when you talk about cost benefit, and that's why we, for the most part, discuss risk anyway. When we talk about survivability rate, that's what we discuss is risk. Because this whole, if it all saves just one life, look, that's all bull crap. We don't apply that to anything that it is that we do as individuals, because every single thing that we do requires risk. Hell, you can get in your car right now, get in a wreck and die. Hell, I could slip down the stairs, hit my head on like the guardrail or something like that and die. It's a possibility, right? It's all risk. A life in itself is a risk. We don't get on the other side of this a lot. But for whatever reason, I think we all know why. I think they had a certain guy that they thought they could make look bad out of all this. And this is why you're seeing how evil it is that these people are. Politicians are very bad people. Yes, like it's like some people will be like, why is it that all of these governors or all of these guys and these county judges who have, and all these guys, why would they be on the same page with this virus if it wasn't as bad as what it is they say? I don't know, because they're evil sons of bitches. Maybe that's the answer. And a lot of folks, because they worship the state, a lot of folks don't want to sit there and concede that point. They can't wrap their brains around the fact that there's bad people that work for the government. Hell, bad people are attracted to the government because you've then given them this territorial monopoly on use of force, violence, and ultimate decision making to do things that other citizens simply just cannot do. Average Joe Blow citizens can't do. Maybe it's just because they're evil. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe it's because they're playing politics. So yes, would a group of politicians sit up here, especially at the federal level, particularly at the federal level, would sit there and play politics for the sake of making their opponent look bad? Yes, they would. Yes, they would destroy your livelihoods for doing that. Yes, of course they would. Of course they would. They're evil. Yes, they would. What, because they're on the same page, even in other countries? You think because they're on the same page, they're not evil? You don't think these control freaks are just not bad people? Yes, of course. I don't care what it is they say. Look at what their actions speak louder than the words. Hell, they'll tell you. Yes, you should be shut down. Damn, B, you have a job or somewhere you work, and you got to get laid off, or some business that you own, and now you dipping into your savings to try to keep it afloat. Third of restaurants completely eliminated, not coming back, not getting on the other side of this. I'm in a band. I'm a touring musician. I could not tell you how many freaking venues are not getting on the other side of this. Maybe they're doing it because they're fucking evil. And evil people play politics. Yes, they will do things to make someone else, the president or anybody, look bad. Of course they would. You're the naive one thinking that they wouldn't do that. Of course they would do that. Of course they would. And this is why you're starting to see idiots like this start to kind of change their tune on it. Maybe it was because something happened back in November. Maybe that's why. And that people just don't think that's what politicians do. They sitting there they playing chicken with each other. You don't think that they wouldn't destroy you for the sake of making their opponent look bad? Of course they would. Of course, yes. 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 Yeah, they would. Absolutely they would. And the minute you realize that and come to terms with it, well, maybe they wouldn't anymore. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what it is, man, but people have this religious cling to the state. And they think just because people are in those positions and they sit up there and they get on their podium and say that they care about you so much, they're trying to save lives. They're trying to save people. What about the kids and the grandmas and the roads? They don't give a damn about you, man. And I'm telling you, it's so cliche for me to say that, but as you get to talking to people, man, you see how much of a religious cling that they have to these institutions. And maybe that's why they hate religion so much. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they hate religion so much, because they look at it in a way that it replaces them. I don't know. It's just a theory. Cuomo's a son of a gun, though. And he's a very evil person. That's all I wanted to say.